Today, we're talking about something incredibly tender and important in those first few days and weeks that are after birth, and that is how to recognize the early hunger cues in your newborn. Feeding isn't just about nutrition, it is about the bonding experience, trust, and learning each other. You are completely having a new person in your life. So today I'm going to walk you through what hunger cues look like, when to respond, and how to set yourself up for a calm and hopefully not too chaotic feeding rhythm with your little one. Love and blessings, beautiful people. My name is Elizabeth Vanderwilt. I'm a holistic doula and a women's health coach currently residing in Saskatchewan, Canada. I support women all over the world virtually and in person in Saskatchewan and would love to help you on your journey. And even if it's just through this video, it means a lot to me that you're here. So just a reminder that everything said in my videos are strictly for educational purposes. I'm not a medical professional and I'm not here to try to dictate or encourage your journey any one way. So as always, I like to preface by saying do your own research. And if you found this video, I think you're doing some of that research right now. So if you plan to, consult a healthcare professional if you so choose. First, I want to start with a reminder that it's always worth repeating no matter how many times, even if you need to repeat it to yourself. You are both learning. You and your baby are in a brand new experience, and even if you've had children before, it's a new baby, which means new experience. And you're not expected to have it all figured out in one day. So if you're breastfeeding, you're bottle feeding, or you're pumping, every single baby is very different, and that relationship is going to be different as well. So, like I said before, this could be your first child, your third, maybe your fifth, and each time you're going to see a huge difference between each one. So please let this be your permission. Let this help release the pressure on yourself for it to be perfect. Because feedings are not about perfection one bit. They are about your presence. Baby, all they've known is you, the internal side of you. And now they get to see the external side of you. So let's talk about why you need to recognize these early hunger cues and why it's so helpful. So when a baby gets too hungry, they often get upset, which can make the feeding process a little bit harder. Crying is actually a late hunger cue. By the time your baby is crying, their nervous system is already a bit dysregulated, which can make latching more difficult even if they're really hungry. So once you catch the signs early, it actually can help create a more peaceful experience and help a better latch system set up. So it's going to be better and beneficial for both of you. So here are the early hunger cues to watch out in your newborn. So rooting. So this is when the baby is going to start turning their head from side to side. Often their mouth is going to be more open than this doll. And if they're looking, it's going to be like as if they're looking for something to latch onto. So if anything brushes their cheek, so sometimes you can just rub your hand like that, they may turn towards it. So say I touched here to the side and they would try to suck. So another thing that is an early baby sign cue is hand movements. So babies may bring their hands to their mouth and they may start sucking on their fists, or they can flex their arms and their legs. And these are subtle but very clear signs that they're actually ready for food. So another sign is sucking motions or lip smacking. So if they're making any type of kind of movements, those sucking noises are actually their body's way of beginning to lick their lips almost as preparation for food. So remember, as humans, we go, yummy. And that still same applies. So another thing is fidgeting or restlessness. So you may notice that your baby is stirring in their sleep. They're not wiggling this way, but they're wiggling and they're becoming more alert. And so that is also a sign that they are getting hungry. So if they're already kind of semi-awake from a nap with that, you can kind of already start to put them to whatever way you're feeding them. So if you catch these cues early, you're going to be more likely to have a calm and a smoother latch. And you're also helping support your milk flow as well because, the more supply and demand that there is. So in the first week or two, I really like to suggest don't expect a kind of schedule. Some babies are going to nurse every hour. Some take longer. Others cluster feed for several hours in the evening. any type of variation, it's normal. And some suggest the 2 to 3 as a demand, but it's too hard to add an extra pressure layer for you. So instead of watching the clock, I invite you to actually watch your baby. Spend some time to learn and trust your body and see how baby's body is actually trusted and designed to do this as well. So generally, again, if you are feeding and you're not seeing baby wake up, the best way to do it is that if they haven't ate in at least 2 to 3 hours, even if your baby hasn't stirred yet, especially in the early days, you're going to want to try to feed them because feeding is so important. It supports the growth and it supports your milk supply. So the 2 to 3 hour mark really works best if you're just seeing that as like baby hasn't ate in that long. If your baby does get upset before a feed, don't worry, it happens. Just take a moment to soothe. So, like I always like to say, here are just a few things that you can try. So number 1 is hold your baby's skin to sin. And this is great, I'm not standing, but you can also gently sway or rock and maybe even hum. So if you would like to try to encourage them to feed, you can offer a clean finger for them to suck on a few seconds before you actually attempt to latch. And once they're a little calmer, try again because you are learning. So is your baby, and you're doing a beautiful job at it. So another quick tip for those who are breastfeeding, if your breast feels very full and firm, we also call this engorged, it can make latching tricky. So if you find that it is, try a little hand expression first or pump a little bit of milk just to soften the area around your nipple. That way it can make it easier for baby to get a good latch. Because remember, feeding time is a very sacred time. It's a time to slow down and just connect the two of you. So like I said, it's a bonding experience. So if your baby does fall asleep at the breast or bottle before you're actually finished, you can try gently rubbing their feet, massage their shoulders, or switching sides if they're nursing. And this also helps keep them awake. Another tip that I had seen from a lactation consultant is actually make them a little bit colder. So if you're covered up comfortable, take away the blanket. And remember that feeding is a full body workout. So it's tiring, of course. So if drifting off is happening a lot, it means that they're full and they're safe. So that's also a win. So whether you're in the first few days of postpartum or you're preparing ahead of time, kudos, or you're just wanting to know this stuff, you are not alone. Feeding is another huge responsibility and can be very emotional experience for most new parents. So don't let it completely exhaust you right off the bat with schedules and trying to know all the right things. Just remember that if you can, try to watch out for those early hunger cues to help your baby and yourself. And if it doesn't work and you do wait till they're crying, that's okay too. It happens. You are learning and so are they. And remember, if you are looking for support, I highly suggest getting a lactation consultant or even getting a breastfeeding educated doula or peer educator in this experience. So remember to always hold yourself with lots of compassion throughout this entire process. You're doing great things. If this video was helpful, I'd love for you to just hit the like button down below, subscribe, or share with someone else who's going through the journey. I always love making these videos for you, and remember that I will be back next week with more guidance. But until then, be well and trust that you know this because you've got this. Peace.